Alright, how's it going, everybody? So, this last week, okay, go look up Tommy Lorraine, okay? She's a commentator on Fox News. I think she has her own show, and she yells at the camera a lot, and usually regarding politics. And on that side, on her political commentary, I agree with 99.999% of what she says. Alright, she's great at that. But then, like a week and a half ago, okay, she commented on men, okay? And she should really stick what she's really good at, which is political commentary, and not mention dating, not mention men, because she's not informed. Okay. She takes a few so-called studies and that she agrees with and applies to her point of view, and then vomits that on her show or her interview or whatever onto society and men in general. Alright, she's saying men are trash, and she's like, men need to step up. And so this is my response to her. Okay. And I guess she's actually married to a baseball player in the Major League Baseball. So I don't know why she's complaining, but I guess a lot of her friends, beautiful, smart, boss bitch friends, are all single and they can't find a good man. So, usually, if you refer to all men are trash, and that they need to stop living in their mama's basements, which, according to the study that she looked at, a lot of men are, which is absurd, pathetic, and it's kind of funny regarding studies and all that. I have never been sent a questionnaire or, hey, we're doing a study regarding this. Okay? Doesn't matter what the study is, I have never been questioned or whatever in the mail, at the gas station, places where you think men would be. If it's regarding men, you should go to where men are, okay? Or mail them a questionnaire, hey, we're doing a study regarding this and this and this. If you're interested, please answer these questions and send it back. Or they're at where men are, and not college, not the mall, when you sometimes see those people with the questionnaires and they're trying to stop the shoppers and ask them a few questions. But that's so few and far between, it rarely happens, okay? And then if you're asking college students, okay, and most of them, I think, live in dorms, okay, actually at the college, or they live off campus. Rarely do they actually live close by in at their parents' house. Rarely. And if they can, it's actually smart at that age. They're going to college, they're trying to save money, either to pay for college or for when they graduate. The in-between time between their graduation and the actual job they get, okay, I understand that, okay? You're living at with mom and dad until you're actually on your feet, you're good to go, okay? That's normal, alright? And 50 years ago, when you can, you're actually educated, and you can, it's like within the last 50 years, prices have gone up, salaries have not. Alright. So you could actually support. You can put down a down payment, afford a mortgage and a family, and you can actually live a decent life. Okay. But with the normal paycheck, which is between 45 and 65, you can't. Nowadays you can't. You have to have your full-time job, plus a side hustle, plus investments, and still you can barely afford a one-bedroom apartment. So, in my situation, I'm renting a room, so I have roommates at the house that I'm renting, and it's still rough for me. Okay, but so I can understand why young men are still living with their parents while they're going to college. And yes, there are the lazy guys who don't really want to get a job, and they are a leech on their parents, and that needs to stop. But the way, in reality, of those guys, the lazy guys who aren't really doing anything, have no plan for their lives, and they're just in their mama's basements playing games all day, that needs to stop. Okay. But they're taking that small minority, okay, and Tommy is boosting that up, saying the majority of the men out there are doing that, and that's a lie. That's not true. So let's get to the. Oh, one more thing. So the album is called "Stop Dumpster Diving." Okay, and when you perceive men as all trash, okay, and that's what before you were married, that's what you were looking. Like all the men you're dating are trash, okay, and all your friends, all the guys they're dating are trash. Well, stop looking in the dumpster. Stop dumpster diving, okay? And Tommy's married to a anyway, he's very rich, and he's a baseball player, okay? My question to her is, would she have still married her husband if he was a cop? Sorry about that. This is the primary job, so I can focus on that. So, sorry, but you come suck, or you come. Anyway, you're after this job. But anyway, the modern day woman blames men for they've dated assholes, and there are asshole men out there, okay? And then they compare the assholes, okay, the Chad and Tyrone guys, to the average guy, okay? If this guy's like that and he's an asshole, all men are assholes, and that's not true, okay? But if men say that about women, then you're a misogynist or what if you hate women. No, just a lot of you are bitches and hoes. That's a fact, okay? Especially today. I mean, it's not popular to be a virgin, but even amongst Christians, okay? Do they even exist? Okay? Because the millionaires and the guys above 6 feet, okay, if they're actually looking to settle down for a wife, do you think they're really looking for let's just say a used car, when they can buy a brand new one, not touched, perfectly brand new, okay? But no, all these used car ads are coming up. Hey, buy me. But when they can easily get a brand new car. Now, yes, I'm comparing women to cars. Sorry, but this is YouTube, okay? I'm careful what I say. ladies, if you're actually listening to this and you want a good man, stop looking in the trash. Okay? And yes, a lot of these assholes, they might be tall, they might be have a good income, because in most cases they've actually earned that job, but then they exploit their position. Okay, they're good looking, they're over 6 foot, and they have a good income. Yeah, he's gonna be chasing. He's gonna be using. Doesn't even have to chase. He's going to, frankly, he's going to enjoy the position that he is in for as long as he can. Okay. So why should he get married? Why should he not date multiple women? Why should he not use what he has available to him to the utmost? Like, he'll get whatever he can get for as long as he can get, and when he can't get any more, that's when he might settle down. Okay, and then he'll settle down with whoever he's with at that time. Okay, or since he's in the position to, and probably makes even more money by the time he wants to settle down, he'll look for a 20-year-old. Okay, and there are multiple 20-year-olds that would want that. What he's not going to do is settle down with the 30 or 40-year-old when he can get that 20-year-old. So, I'm going down a rabbit trail. Let's come back to this, back to the point, and we'll start listening to the album. Again, it's called Stop Dumpster Diving, and this goes out to Tommy, Lorraine, and her friends. And let's get started, alright?
Yo, Tommy, you talking loud on live TV. Built your throne on lies, not reality. That foundation made of sand and tears. Let me bring the flood, make it disappear. You built with feelings, never brought the facts. I'm bringing truth, watch your narrative collapse. You said men don't want love, that's absurd, but the numbers say otherwise. Did you even hear a word? Young men want kids, want families, peace, but these modern chicks stay off in the streets. You said men are trash, but your scope is too narrow. Shooting blind shots with a broken arrow. You married rich, but here's the real test. Would you date a soldier, make it 60 in the West? I doubt it, let's talk facts, not demand. Your whole worldview, foundation of sand. Your friends hit the wall and blame the game, but they spent their 20s chasing nothing but fame. Acting like hoes, playing with hearts. Now they crying cause the real men won't start. They look for 6-foot millionaires with a yacht, passing it on good men. 5'9" with a stable spot, cop or mechanic, hard working legit. But your standards say he's just not it. Forgive me for mansplaining, but truth hurts. College degrees, but can't name countries on earth. They can name genders, 52 and counting, but not a single skill worth. Mountain school, not educated, fed the script. Now they in their 30s, emotionally whipped. They say, where are the good men with that look? Girl, you skipped them all for bad boys and crooks. You said men are trash, but your scope is too narrow. Shooting blind shots with a broken arrow. You marry rich, but here's the real test. Would you date a soldier, making 60 in the West? I doubt it, let's talk facts, not demand. Your whole worldview, foundation of sand. I liked your takes on politics. politics real raw. Till you flipped and called men trash, I saw the flaw. Now I gotta set the record straight and strong. This anthem for the brothers you've been doing wrong. More men want kids, more women abort. Tell me where's the love in that kind of sport? You scratch the surface of feminism's lie, then swerved hard left just to vilify. So here's the truth, raw and unfiltered. Your whole argument, weak and tilted. Tell your friends if they want high class, stop dumpster diving for the same old trash. They surrounded by kings, just not in disguise, but they too blind, chasing ego and lies. No more lies on that live TV stand. We breaking down your foundation of sand.
You call them trash, but girl, that's you. Digging through dumpsters like it's something new. You want a king, then raise your view. He ain't in the club or sipping with your crew. Swipe left on the guy with a 9 to 5. Now crying out loud, where are the good guys? You want 6 foot rich, ripped to the core, but passed on a prince who lived next door. You say men are trash, girl, please. You dumpster diving looking for kings in debris. You ain't cursed, you just chose wrong. Now you're lonely, singing the blame game song. You say men are trash, girl, please. You dumpster diving looking for kings in debris. You ain't cursed, you just chose wrong. Now you're lonely, singing the blame game song. Looking for gold in a landfill heap, but you slept on a man who died for your peace. Cop, vet, or a blue-collar boss, all too boring, now look what you lost. You called him broke cause he made 50K, but now you alone chasing what won't stay. A good man's not a TikTok trend, so stop blaming men and find real again. You say men are trash, girl, please. You dumpster diving looking for kings in debris. You ain't cursed, you just chose wrong. Now you're lonely, singing the blame game song. You say men are trash, girl, please. You dumpster diving looking for kings in debris. You ain't cursed, you just chose wrong. Now you're lonely, singing the blame game song. Yeah. We motherfucker. Do it. And we win the stats and the trash getting G's. They got to set them on the game. Out the motherfucker bream for talking head. What happened much? Once this break is repeating it. Fucking bombing, not the batching decisions is freer. I'm weighing, I'm on a fix till I'm cutting myself. Like I go without you say when they wish it did well. But I can't give me brass when I wish I was help. Cause I was dead in the lobber, say you wait for myself. You caught him here. You say men are trash, girl, please. You dumpster diving looking for kings in debris. You ain't cursed, you just chose wrong. Now you're lonely, singing a blame game song. You say men are trash, girl, please. You dumpster diving looking for kings in debris. You ain't cursed, you just chose wrong. Now you're lonely, singing a blame game song.
You look through the trash, then cry at the view. Blaming men like that mirror ain't true. You want respect but love the abuse. Picking heartbreak like it's something to use. She say where the good men at all day, but she ghosted 10 of them just last May. Pastor, builders, soldiers, real dudes, for a shirtless TikTok with fake attitude. If your lens is the trash can, all you see is grime. You skip the good ones every single time. Love ain't blind, it's filtered and framed. Don't say men trash when you play the game. Her taste broke, Now she blaming men, but she only loved chaos again and again. Now 30 plus, and she feel that sting, cause the bad boys left and they took the ring. You want real? Then clean your view. He's out there working, not DMing you. So take off the lashes and false pride. Truth hurts more than the tears you hide. You say he ain't tall enough, broken plain, but he's loyal, honest, and stay in his lane. You overlook the men who'd give you the world for a blue check clown who's playing with girls. He's 5'9" with the two-belt life, working sun up to sundown for a future wife. But you laughed, cause he ain't living the hills, chose a fraud with chains and unpaid bills. Yeah, not short, you just blind to worth, measure up. Man by soul, not hide a purse. You missed a king for a fake facade now, crying at night like it's men's fault, nah. You skip the cop, detect the guy with the grit for a dude with abs who treat you like, well quit. You chase tall dreams with shallow intent. Now your DM's dry and your youth is spent. The 5'9" king still building strong, but they done with girls who treat them wrong. So don't say no, man, they just moved on from dumpster queens who sing the wrong song. They're not short, you just blind to worth, measure up. Man by soul, not hide a purse. You missed a king for a fake facade now, crying nightlight, it's men's fault, nah. Shit, got a degree but can't find love. Knows gender theory but don't know trust. Can name all pronouns but not the flags. Don't know life but can quote red flags. You ain't educated, just schooled and spent. Lost in trends but don't see within. You say you a queen but act like a fool. Crown crooked, still blaming the dude. Girl, you school not wise, just train to pretend. You skip life class but love won't bend. You want real men, then drop the disguise. Cause knowledge ain't truth when your soul's in lies. She know all the hashtags, none of the depth. Knows fake empowerment but not self-respect. She say men don't measure up to me, but her mind's chained by a gender degree. You marched for freedom but chose the cage. Now wonder why you alone, enraged. Time to wake up, clean the slate. Cause wisdom's real and it don't graduate. self-to-worth. Wish Doja King on Gunn. Don't stop inside the springs and flaming through the face while climbing on my life.
The wall is real. The wall is real. The wall is real. You thought beauty lasts, ignored the clock. Now 35 and the doors are locked. You said I'm just having fun, no need to settle. But the game don't pause, it breaks the pedal. You mock good men, said they were lame. Now you cry when players ain't playing the same. The wall ain't sexist, it's just the truth. You cashed out youth, now regrets the proof. The wall is real and it don't ask why. You blinked at love, now watch it fly. Men ain't gone, they just moving smart. Why you trying to glue together a shattered heart? You laughed at vows, mocked the ring. Now IG don't call and the phone don't ping. He tried to wife you, you ghosted his soul. Now karma swinging back with full control. So don't say where's my forever plan. You let it walk while chasing the gram. The wall is real, it ain't a curse. It's just the end of that phase you rehearsed. The wall is real and it don't ask why. You blinked at love, now watch it fly. Men ain't gone, they just moving smart. While you try to glue together a shattered heart. The wall is real, from that spot. The wall is real, let me feel that spot. The wall is real, let me feel that spot. The wall is real, let me feel that spot. The wall is real, let me feel that spot. The wall is real, let me feel that spot. The wall is real, let me feel that spot. The wall is real, let me feel that spot. The wall is real and it don't ask why. You blinked at love, now watch it fly. Men ain't gone, they just moving smart. While you trying to glue together a shattered heart. Congrats, you bagged that millionaire ball player. But would he matter if he worked as a mail carrier? You say you're for truth, then twist the frame. Preach real love, but play the fame game. Your friends want the same six-figure charm, but this a good man with two strong arms. They ignore the cop, the vet, the guy with heart. They cry when their dreams fall apart.
Would you love him broke in a uniform blue? Would you ride or just pose for the view? If love ain't blind, then take off the mask, 'cause real ones ain't always rolling in cash.
You chose your path, now don't throw shade on the men that build, protect, and get paid. Would you take that ring from a plumber's hand? Or only if he ballin' with a beachfront land? The truth is bitter, but I keep it stitched. You ain't looking for love, you looking for rich. So tell your friends stop crying, where's he at? If he ain't driving foreign or wearing a cap.
Would you love him broke in a uniform blue? Would you ride or just pose for the view? If love ain't blind, then take off the mask, 'cause real ones ain't always rolling in cash.
not the man, projecting your pain like it's all their plan. You skip the builders, the dads, the strong, for TikTok clowns who led you wrong. You say amen, amen, but girl, that's cap. You want the perks, but skip the map. You want him real, but won't be still. Say he's weak cause he don't pay your bill. Reality check, this ain't a show. Real men work, not pose for the glow. So stop with the filters, lies and flex. He ain't trash, you just misread the text. Thrill, so you ghosted truth for the highlight reel. Now time caught up and the likes don't heal, and the man you laughed at became ideal. So stop the talk like men ain't trying. It's your radar that keeps online. Reality check, read it and weep. You traded gold for a night that's cheap. Reality check, this ain't a show. Real men work, not pose for the glow. So stop with the filters, lies and flex. He ain't trash, you just misread the text. Broke, now you're spinning circles, blaming men while you picking Urkels. You choose the wrong, then call it fate. Skip the steak for crumbs on a plastic plate. You passed on builders, protectors, guides for liars with tattoos and empty rides. Now you post quotes about finding peace after dumping truth for a short-term lease. Your compass broke, that's why you lost. You traded loyalty for fake at a cost. Now don't play dumb, don't act confused. When real men vanish, sick of being used. Your compass broke, that's why you lost. You traded loyalty for fake at a cost. Now don't play dumb, don't act confused. When real men vanish, sick of being used. You seek love in chaos, flames and smoke, calling men trash while you chase the broke. Said he boring, cause he made you safe. Now you crying while running in place. The GPS said stable and true, but you rerouted to just for the view. It's time to fix what's been ignored, or watch yourself stay love's landlord. Your compass broke, that's why you lost. You traded loyalty for fake at a cost. Now don't play dumb, don't act confused. When real men vanish, sick of being used. Your compass broke, that's why you lost. You traded loyalty for fake at a cost. Now don't play dumb, don't act confused. When real men vanish, sick of being used. Real men vanish, sick of being used. That's why you lost. You traded loyalty for fake at a cost. Real men vanish, sick of being you. Your compass broke, that's why you lost. You traded loyalty for fake at a cost. Now don't play dumb, don't act confused. When real men vanish, sick of being used. Your compass broke, that's why you lost. You traded loyalty for fake at a cost. Now don't play dumb, don't act confused. When real men vanish, sick of being used. You want 6 foot, 6 pack, 6 fit cash, but treat real love like yesterday's trash. Swipe past the man with the 9 to 5, now cry that no king's left alive. You chase a list, not a legacy. A walking dream sold on MTV. He ain't broke, he's just not fake. He's building life, not playing Drake. You in love with a six-figure lie, but real ones ain't wearing that suit and tie. If all you want is money and clout, don't cry when love leaves you out. Enough for your OnlyFans. You say he's trash cause he ain't on jets, but he give you peace, you just saw regret. So keep wishing on a rented star while good men bounce the lands afar. That six-figure dream is pretty and dead, while the one who cared just left unread. You say women lead in degrees and stats, but can't name a country outside their app. You brag about school and GPA scores, yet think real men come through revolving doors. They study gender, 52 kinds, but don't know how love redefines. School not wise don't mean you're woke. If you push away the man who spoke. You educated, yeah, but you lost. Trading morals for likes, now count the cars. Smartphones on, but hearts offline. And now you wonder why men decline. They read Cosmo, not Constitution, then say men are the source of pollution. You call that power, you call that growth, but can't tell truth from a Twitter post. Men want roots, not rolling waves, but you parade pride on shallow graves. Tell your friends to open eyes, cause wisdom's more than bookish lies. You say all men are broken, flawed, but your friend group's out here praising frauds. They don't date men, they chase the game, then cry when they're ghosted, playing the same. They want future husbands and VIP, but ignore the ones with loyalty. Said they want love, but won't dig deep, so they look in the trash, then cry and weep. Tell your friends stop dumpster diving. You won't go, quit barely trying. If you search where the rod gets tossed, don't blame men for what you lost. Tell your friends stop dumpster diving. You won't go, quit barely trying. If you search where the rod gets tossed,
They build and bleed, but your crew's too busy feeding greed. They walk past greatness for a thrill, then whine that dating standing still. If you only shop in the clearance bin, don't expect the diamond within. Stop digging in trash, look to the sky. Don't keep wondering why love passed by. Love passed by. Tell your friends stop dumpster diving. You won't go, quit barely trying. If you search where the rock gets tossed, don't blame men for what you lost. Tell your friends stop dumpster diving. You won't go, quit barely trying. If you search where the rock gets tossed, don't blame men for what you lost.
Still, you live online in filters and gloss, but love's not real in a TikTok toss. You want the fairy tale, red carpet walk, but block real men when they try to talk. You dream of yachts and Malibu scenes while ignoring kings in faded jeans. Say you want truth but chase the trend, then ask why love don't extend. Come back to earth, get off that screen, cause real love ain't built on memes. Come back to reality, drop the show, or stay in Neverland solo. Come back to earth, get off that screen, cause real love ain't built on memes. Come back to reality, drop the show, or stay in Neverland solo. You swipe past legacy for a thrill, call him in trash, nah girl chill. He built a life, he'd build with you, but that don't fit your dream man view. If your standards only chase perfection, then don't blame men for your rejection. You want loyalty? Seek the real, and not just what the gram can sell. Sabji for this maybe. Almost as many was lying. Come back to earth, get off that screen, cause real love ain't built on memes. Come back to reality, drop the show, or stay in Neverland solo. Come back to earth, get off that screen, cause real love ain't built on memes. Come back to reality, drop the show, or stay in Neverland solo. Come back to earth, get off that screen, cause real love ain't built on memes. Come back to reality, drop the show, or stay in Neverland solo.
Okay, so there was a lot said there. I could go on and just keep bashing Gunn around and her friends and the modern woman today. But what would that really get me? Okay, a bunch of pissed off women and Tommy Lorraine? I don't know. If I do, and Tommy actually watched this, got pissed off enough to mention it on her show. Let's just say what's the saying? Any publicity is good publicity. Well, that's not who I am. Okay, I am not trash, Tommy. And many men like me are not trash. And dare I say, your friends who have been dumpster diving and dating trash, okay? Well, you mirror the people that you hang around, okay? You represent the people that your friends, your family, and you represent the people you date. And if your friends comment continuously date trash, are your friends trash? That is a legitimate question. if they are comfortable with dating these types of people, maybe your friends are the problem. Okay? I'm tired of hearing women calling trash and women complaining on TikTok, Instagram, social media in general, and they're saying they hate men are trash, but they keep dating the same type of person, okay? Because the men are the problem, not them, okay? And you would ask many of them, and you can check on YouTube, TikTok, would they date a man under 6 foot? Oh no. Oh, ew. That's usually their response. Oh, no way. Even though they're 5'6", okay? So even with high heels, they can still date a guy 5'9", and be equal or depending on those high heels. Some of those are dangerous. It's like, I understand, and you know what, my next podcast is going to be about my latest single, or one of my recent singles, I Quit, okay? Stay tuned to the next one and you'll hear more about that. But I personally, I'm not dating, I'm working on myself, fitness, my financials, investing, all that, okay? That is what I'm doing right now. I'm not even interested in dating, okay? And when I am, I'm going to Eastern Europe, okay? And so, I'm 99.9% sure I will not marry an American woman, okay? And the evidence, you want to know why I've made that decision? Because women like Tommy. Now supposedly she's conservative, Republican, beautiful blonde hair, I think she has blue eyes, so she's beautiful, okay? Yet her attitude sucks, okay? And I said that she's great with her political commentary, and she is, okay? I'll give her that, okay? But she's always yelling at the camera. Look up some of her political commentary. She is always yelling at the camera. She's never speaking room tones with like normal voice. It's always higher than normal, and you compare that to her co-host or the one that's interviewing her. Their vocals are normal. Okay, we can bear them. But whenever Tommy's speaking, she's just under yelling, okay? And that is not because of her audio. I'm sure the audio engineers can tune her microphone and all that to sound bearable. I mean, like everybody else on the panel or whatever. Okay. She doesn't have to yell, but that's like just her style or character, okay? So I can just imagine, in every marriage or relationship there's going to be arguments, but imagine being her husband and having just a normal dinner. I hope she doesn't communicate that way with her husband. Can you imagine that? Hey, so how was your day? And then just imagine her voice as she comments on the political story. You're like, whoa, we're like 2 feet away from each other. I hope that doesn't happen. But what she shows to the world, we can only imagine that her personal life is similar. Okay? Not the same, I mean, but similar. Okay? telling you this because comparing that, because that's really all, I don't know her, I'll likely never meet her, but just taking that, I have to take that and base it on what she is in reality, okay, off the TV. And I have to base that on what kind of friends does she have. And I assume that her friends are similar to her. Okay? So the similarities, you have to base that, like, okay, and then she's complaining that her friends aren't finding good guys to marry, that will actually marry them. So, I don't want to assume too much, okay? So, I'm not going to assume. I don't know her, I don't know her friends. I can just say the likelihood of her friends being similar to her are pretty high, okay? And when you look at all the recent last 10-20 years rom-coms, okay, and the TV show Sex and the City and all that, based in New York, this is what the modern day woman is basing their dating and relationship life off of, okay? So honestly, no wonder women are having a huge problem. What's the guy's name? For research, I've actually watched a few episodes of Sex and the City, okay? And the main character, it's like a group of friends, all single, all trying to find the love of their lives in like New York, okay? New York City. And the main character finds a guy, or meets a guy, and she calls him Mr. Big, I think Mr. Big, okay? And they have a off and on relationship, and she dates other guys, and it's just her other friends fall in and out of love. Anyway, for the few episodes that I saw, it was no wonder the modern day woman can't find love, because they're basing their lifestyle on shows like Sex and the City, and what else? They want their vampire guy, or anyway, I haven't even seen the what is it? Anyway, the vampire movie where the vampire actor, he recently played Batman. I don't even remember the title of the movie. Anyway, these are the types of men that modern day women want. The 50 Shades of Grey type, and that movie was just stupid. And then I guess they made two more after that. It's like Western women hold these movies and TV shows as guides into what they should look for and how they should find their Mr. Big or Mr. Gray. I think that's the guy's last name. It's pathetic. No wonder society's like this. And no wonder men are getting their passports and going to South America, Asia, and Eastern Europe. Okay? Because ladies in those areas actually want to be wives, want to be mothers, and they want to have families. And you cannot tell me, it's like, yes, a wife should submit to her husband. Okay? But you can't get mad at me for saying that when the modern day woman, the boss bitch and all that, are willing to get to that boss position. She has to submit to her boss, most likely a white man. Okay? Most likely, in most cases, just the fact that there are more white men in businesses, the likelihood of her having to submit and obey the orders of her white boss, she's willing to do that. Okay? She has no problem with that. But she can't submit to a man that loves her, wants the best for her, provides for her, and will literally break his back in order for her to live a decent life and have a decent house and car and all that. Decent, okay? I'd much rather have my sister, who is single, an outstanding lady, but she's not putting herself in positions to be seen by good men. And that is the problem with the good women out there that are that are the equivalent or even better than the women in the countries that I mentioned, okay, or locations, okay. My sister's an outstanding lady, and I want her to find an outstanding man. She knows that he's going to be making between 45 and 65, okay. She's fine with that. And she knows that her goal is to take a lot of pressure off his life, add peace to his life, and grow with him. Okay? She knows that is what she's expecting, and the majority of women out there are not willing to do that. And the women that are not putting themselves in positions to be seen by good men. That is their fault. That is my sister's fault. Okay? If you are a lady and you actually want to be a mom, you are willing to submit to your husband's leadership. You are not a slave. You are not being beaten and abused by your husband and have nowhere to go, or you're not able to get up. No, I'm not saying that. Okay? If you're in a relationship with a man that beats you, get out and go to the cops. Okay? That man should be in jail. No woman should be abused or beaten. And I'm talking physical abuse. Okay? In every relationship there is going to be arguing. In an argument, you raise your voice. Okay? So you cannot say that the man is abusing you or verbally abusing you when you two get in a argument and your voices are raised. No, that's just part of life. You work through it, you get past it, and you move forward. You work through that. Okay? Most cases, not all, but in most cases, if you actually respected and loved the man and acknowledged that he had the big picture, okay, and you, in most cases, the lady, wife, or girlfriend, does not, take a moment, be quiet, listen, step back from trying to view the situation and try to look at the big picture, okay? And in most cases, you might see his point of view, and in most cases, you might agree with him, okay? Not all, but most, okay? I am not saying at all that men are always right, but in the majority of the cases, they are, okay? But women are not willing to listen, understand. They just listen to respond. Yeah, they just listen to respond because they're angry, they're pissed off, and it's like no matter what you say, I'm not listening. that is the point of view of the majority. Not all, but most women. Okay? They argue not to understand what the argument is about. They argue just to argue. That needs to stop. Okay? The majority of women do not own the consequences of their actions. Okay? That needs to stop. Okay? Women, when you are wrong, you are wrong. You need to be told that you're wrong, and you need to fix it. Okay? The time of women getting away with their actions, what they've done, okay, and not accepting the consequences, not going through them, not even acknowledging them, and just blaming it on men. It's going to stop, okay? And you accept that, or you don't. But I'm encouraging guys to stop dating, stop approaching women, stop buying women drinks. No more, okay? And I'm telling these guys to focus on themselves. Yeah, it sounds selfish, but it's really not, okay? I'm telling them to focus on themselves, get a good job, get the education they need to get the job they need. If that is a trade school or college, focus when you're in college and get the STEM field major, or start your own business, okay? Do not waste your time in college, because the majority of your classes are bullshit, okay? When I was in college, I didn't have to take a gender studies. There was no gender studies. But nowadays, there are these liberal arts things that you have to take just to graduate, which are stupid. Okay? I should not have to take a class that is in no way related to my major. Right? I should only take classes related to my major. I should not have to waste money on elective or whatever just in order to graduate. Okay? Stupid. But these days, just to graduate, you have to take stupid classes, and you just have to, if you want to get that piece of paper. I think if the only jobs, positions that need a bachelor's degree, okay, if not a higher degree, are STEM fields, okay? To work in sales, you do not need a degree. To work in marketing, you don't need a degree. To work in if your job does not consist of science, technology, math, engineering, medicine, law, as in lawyers and stuff, you do not need a degree to get that position. Now, you're going to need on-the-job training. You're going to need experience, and there are a lot of classes that I think should be taught in high school that aren't being taught anymore. Bring those back in high school, and right out of high school, you should be eligible for these basic jobs. Okay? Those basic jobs should have supervisors that are able to train those new hires to be good at their jobs. Okay? It does not take a 4-year degree and $100,000 in debt to just know the basics of the average job out there. Okay? That's absurd. say the average veteran that has just finished their 4-year service time, okay, they completed their 4-year contract, has more experience and would do a better job than 99% of all college graduates. Okay, I, as a small business owner, would rather hire the veteran than the college graduate, because the veteran who's had a honorable discharge is more capable and more experienced in doing any job that I could hire them for than the average college student that can't even name 3 countries and 3 states, yet they're educated. And the average vet that's only served 4 years has likely been to at least 3 countries and has been stationed in at least 3 states, or at least has, anyway, he knows more than 3 states. Okay, the average student does not, and that's pathetic. Yet, like I've said before, they can tell you all 52 genders, or I think there's more now. How pathetic. Okay, if you you ask them who's George Washington and name 3 things that he's done for this country, they won't be able to do that. Benjamin Franklin, what has he done for this country? Name 3 people that signed the Constitution. They won't be able to do that. Who's Columbus? I mean, these basic questions that you learned in junior high, grade school, the lower grades, even kindergarten, these college graduates would not be able to answer. The students I teach as a substitute teacher, I ask these basic questions and they're looking at, it's like, who's Thomas Jefferson? Who's Benjamin Franklin? What? There's a country named Poland? What? Where's that? Where is Latvia? Okay. Where's Russia? Where's China? Show me on the map, where's China? I don't know. It's like, what are we teaching these kids? Who is teaching these kids? It's pathetic, okay? But when these ladies watching the TV and movies that their single moms are watching, how can you not expect the young ladies right now not to grow up into the modern day woman? It's just going to get worse, okay? Unless women acknowledge and take responsibility for their actions, own the consequences, make the changes, and move forward. Should they continue looking for that 6-foot millionaire? No. Okay? There's not enough out there for you. Okay? Should you demand be able to get the surgery to make them taller, and then to start making start making more money? No. Okay? Come back to reality. Alright? You will marry, if you do get married, you will likely be between 5'7" and 5'10", and you will most likely make 45 to 65K a year. Okay? Those are the options that you have. Alright? Now, if you do actually marry a man that is 5'9", he makes 65 a year, and 28, okay? And he's working on himself. He's going up that ladder. He's seeking promotions and doing a good job at work and all that. So once he hits 40, 45, 50, he's getting promoted. He's getting that raise. So by the time he retires at 65, he was making $120,000 a year. And you were both making wise investments and all that. So you actually didn't live a comfortable life in retirement. Okay? Or you, the wife, well, staying at home, raising the kids, you started a part-time home business. Okay? And the majority of the income from that is going to investments, retirement, and vacations and stuff like that. Okay? Anything extra that the husband's income is not covering. Okay? And the whole thing, I hate this when I hear the woman says her money is her money and the man's money is her money. Bullshit. Hell no. Okay? Hell no. It's you and the husband, you and the boyfriend or whatever, the fiance, discuss money. And that's going to be a hard and difficult conversation, but it needs to be done. Okay? And the likelihood that what will end up, if you respect and submit to your husband, okay, what will most likely happen is about 95% of your paycheck goes into the household account, okay? And guess what? 95% of your husband's account money goes into the household account. And that account goes to the mortgage, bills, clothes, food, vacation, anything that has to do with the family, the husband and wife unit, okay? That money goes to caring of the family, okay? The needs of the family. And the other 5% is broken up to, like, you want to get your hair done, you want to get your nails done, you want to get a higher cost, or clothing that costs more than the average. So you put money aside for that special dress, whatever. The girlfriend, fiance, wife can put that 5% of her income towards something she wants. She wants Starbucks. She gets what she wants. Okay, and doesn't have to be 5%. No, I'm just picking 95 to, for an example. Okay, depending on your income, it could be more, it could be less. But of course, the husband and wife should each have their fund to go toward what they want. Okay? That's a given. The majority should go to taking care of the family. That's also a given. It is not the wife gets to have her full income go to whatever she wants and the man has to take care of everything. Hell to the frickin' no. Right? Come back to reality. It's like, and if you don't want that, don't get married. Don't be in a relationship. Just live a life that you enjoy and live it alone. And when you die, your cats are going to eat your face. Or your little poodle. It was the little poodle that ate the old lady's face. Single, no kids. She died in her home, and her mail was being packed up. Eventually got welfare check. They called the cops, and cops came over to check on her welfare. And she was in her rocking chair, dead. And her no, it was her poodle, or miniature poodle, was chewing on her face, whatever leftover was on her face. And you hear crazy stories when you do a tour at the morgue, okay, as a police explorer. You do tours at the jail and at the morgue, all for experience. Yeah. I learned a lot. It was a learning experience. Let's just say that. Some of the grossest things that a cop could actually find. Yeah, we saw that at 15 years old. But good times. But coming back to the topic. Modern day woman expects so much from a man, yet is not willing to put in the work in herself to be the woman that man is looking for. They're just not doing it. So why should the multi-millionaire 6-foot guy even be interested in one of your friends, Tommy? Why? If a multi-millionaire 6-foot good man wants to settle down, he's going to look for a good lady that has the least amount of baggage possible. Okay? Has the least amount of, been with the least amount of men, slept with the least amount of men, preferably a virgin, but do they even exist? Okay? Why should this good man that actually can provide a really good life, women, pick one of your friends, Tommy? No wonder your friends are single, and I highly suggest that they stop dumpster diving and possibly be willing to date and even possibly marry that police officer, mechanic, soldier, and stop expecting to find a Major League Baseball player or hockey player or football player, basketball player. There's just not enough for them to go around. Now, there are millions of outstanding men, okay, that are below 6 feet and make 45 to 100K or more, and they want a nice, a good, fun, fit, friendly. If they're Christian, they're most likely looking for sane religion and politics. Okay. But women don't want that. Okay. Christian women don't even want that. Christian women are not willing to look at their own church, at the good men in their church. They're too short, they don't make enough, they're not rich enough, and they're not Jesus' twin. And they're looking for a 6-foot multimillionaire Jesus twin. Okay? And he doesn't exist. That is their fault. Okay? No wonder men are leaving the church and are going overseas to find wives. No wonder. Okay? And I would good luck to them. Right? I wish them all the best, and I hope they do find an outstanding South American lady, Asian lady, or Eastern European lady. Because Americans and the women of the West are not stepping up. And that is their own fault. Okay? And if you are a lady in America or the West, and you want a good man, you don't care about his height, or the only height that you do care about is you want him taller than you. Okay? Fine. Okay? So he doesn't have to be 6 foot. I understand that. If you're 5'2" and he's 5'4", you should be okay with that. Don't wear high heels. I hear they hurt anyway. I don't wear high heels, so I can't take what I hear. Okay. women have put themselves in this position. Okay? It's the women who have chosen to go through their horror 20s and their boss bitch 30s, and now they're 39, 40 and want to settle down, and no one's interested in them. That is their fault. Okay? Own this consequence. You decided to commit that action. The consequence is yours and yours alone. Alright? Tell me, your friends are 30 or older, and they've, I don't know, so I'm not going to, the likelihood of them going through their horror 20s and boss bitch 30s are pretty high, but I don't know. They could be the rare perfect roses, but have they put themselves in front of the good men, not the trash that you've been talking about? Okay? You said they've been dating, but they've been dating trash, according to you. Those are your words. Tell them to stop dumpster diving. Alright? Tell your friends. John Gunn tells them to stop dumpster diving. Okay? And they will likely find a lot of outstanding men, marriage worthy, and I hope they do find love. Okay? I hope they are happy, and I hope you're happy with your husband. But like in the song, if your husband was a cop or let's say a military officer, alright, and he's making 65K, alright, which is pretty decent for those jobs, alright, would you still have married him? Now you're successful, congratulations, but do you hold is your line, okay, he has to be a millionaire. He has to be at this level of success before you even consider him, even actually see him. Okay? Most ladies don't see most men. They're just blurs in their life. Okay? It's like, which is pathetic. Alright? Why? I remember, what's his name? I forget the actor's name. Okay, anyway, he plays a cop. Okay, he wins the lottery. Okay, and then he tips the waitress that he likes a huge portion of the lottery that he won. Okay, so it's a movie, it's a rom-com or whatever, but it's an example of how most men, even rich men, are willing to treat the women they love, or at least like, they are attracted to. A multi-millionaire will date a barista, okay, a waitress. She does not have to be, she does not have to make the same or more than him. Okay? Well, I can kind of understand in the old days, okay? Days of the cowboy, the West, okay? You want a man to be able to provide for you, okay? But that does not mean the women of the West, okay, that actually settled the West, okay, came from the East and actually went through the hardships, the wagon train. They worked the farm next to the man. They worked the ranch next to the man. They did all the housework and didn't complain, okay? Because if you didn't work, you didn't eat and you died, okay? Nowadays, when everything is so easy, women complain about the easy stuff. And they aren't grateful, or the majority are not grateful. Instead of actually washing clothes with your hands instead, the wash clothes in the 1800s. And you're going to be glad, you're going to be very grateful for your washing machine at home. Okay? But women complain about doing the laundry. Okay? They complain about mopping the floor with this broom style mop thing when 100 years ago they were on the floor on their hands and knees mopping it. Okay? They're not grateful because they were not taught about the history of what the women in the old days actually did. Okay? They never had to get on their hands and knees and actually read or work the farm, they don't even know how to ride a horse, okay? Or work a wagon, okay? They have no idea how to shoot a gun, load a gun, especially in those days, okay? Where there was a danger of attacks from bandits, robbers, Indians, okay? Modern day women, they cannot stand next to the olden day women. Okay? Their great grandmas were outstanding women. Okay? And they will laugh at the things their great granddaughters are complaining about. They're jokes. I'll have to do the laundry, I have to vacuum. What is a washing machine? What is a vacuum? The modern day woman is ungrateful and she acts like bitches and she acts like hoes. Okay? And men are not taking their bullshit. Okay? We're done. Alright? So women, step up. Okay? Own you completed that action. The consequence is yours and yours alone. But there's hope. Okay? Especially if you're in your 20s and you stop being a hoe. Okay? And you actually start looking for a good man who is most likely not 6 foot, most likely earns between 45 and 65 a year. You should be happy with that. Guess what? You and you're 45 and your boyfriend, fiance's husband's 45. Guess what? That's $90,000 a year. I think you can start a good life with that. Okay? And then as you guys both grow and promote or get better jobs, you get better salaries. You grow. Okay? You need to get back to that instead of you run the race with your spouse, with your man. You don't just wait at the finish line and expect to get this perfect guy who wants someone like you. No. Oh, and men need to stop approaching women. Okay, you've told us not to. The majority of us have listened. Yet there are still those Chad and Tyrones that are still asking. And now you're coming back on TikTok and YouTube and all that. It's like, why don't men approach you? You've told us not to. So, all men need to stop. Okay? And if you are approached by a man, despite your surroundings or where you are, he only wants one thing, and you know what that thing is. Okay? And if you want, I read somewhere that it's about 80% of the relationship started when the woman approaches the man. The result is a good marriage. 80%. Okay? So out of 100 ladies that ask men out, okay, and the man actually says yes, 80 of those will get married and have a good marriage. Alright? That's pretty high. Alright? And it's literally, you're not, I'm not saying you have to ask them out, you have to ask for, you literally, girls or ladies, You just give him the green light. That's all you have to do. I am interested in you. Okay? I'm attracted to you. Hi, my name's so-and-so. What's your name? You're not asking him out. You're not asking him for your number. You are literally at the same coffee shop or whatever, and you start a conversation that you initiated, ladies. And I just realized I'm raising my voice, and I do not want to be the topic. All right. Anyway, but I'm serious about this. Okay, ladies, if you initiate the conversation, okay, and that's all you initiate, but you are in doing so giving the man a green light, saying, "I find you interesting. I find you attractive. Let's see if we have a decent conversation. Can I see you again? Yeah, sure. Can I get your number?" Boom! You didn't ask him for his number. You didn't ask him for a date. You just let it know to him that you are interested in seeing him again. Okay? He asks for your number. He says, "What are you doing Saturday?" He asks, like, "When are you free?" He's like, "Get your number. I'll text you and let you know," or text or call. It's like, let's go to, what kind of food do you like? Because men want to make you happy. Okay, we want to make our girlfriends, fiancés, wives happy. That is our drive. Okay? Now, you just met, okay? You approached him, let's say, in a perfect situation, right? But he doesn't know if you're a vegan or a vegetarian, okay? The likelihood of him being either one of those is pretty low. Okay, they do exist, but they're rare. Alright. But he wants to make sure he takes you to a place where you will enjoy. Okay? And honestly, guys, Chili's, go to Chili's, go to Olive Garden, go to these places that these gold diggers would not want to go. Okay? Because there are certain tests that you should, both men and women, should apply to the first date. Okay, does she pass this? Does she complain about going to Chili's or going to Olive Garden or going to these so-called cheap restaurant chains? Okay, which by themselves serve decent food, decent prices. She's not going to she's not going to ask for a $20 drink or whatever. Excuse me. Yet I think for a first date, you shouldn't even be drinking alcohol, because your goal is to get to know the person, not to get drunk, not to the whole goal of the date is to get to know the basics of the person that you're interested in. Very basics. And does your basics, is there a possibility that you guys can align, can fit together? Okay. It's not, ladies, how much free drinks and food can you get off this guy? Which there are hundreds of thousands of women that do that. They just want a free meal, and that's so they go flip spend a few minutes flipping on Tinder, and out of 10 guys, they get 9 matches. Because men are actually surprised, "Hey, I got a match, oh wow." And out of those 9 guys, 8 of them message, and she picks the top 3. Or 5, and then one night out of the week, when a free dinner, a date during the week, and then her dinners are all paid for. There you go. So who cares about the conversation? It's the likelihood of the guy paying is pretty high. But she's just in it for free food and drinks, which a lot of women are. Okay, so those ladies, if you are really interested in finding a future husband, okay, or a long-term relationship, and the guy that you walked up to, you basically gave him the green light, and he invites you on a date. But the date is an outing, okay, something. I don't know, putt golf, hitting. I don't know. Okay, personally, okay, I would take my date to the shooting range and then coffee afterwards. Okay, but it's rare. Okay, and I already know that this woman can shoot. Okay, and she was taught by her dad, grandpa, or brothers. Okay, she knows the basic firearm safety, and she is sane. Okay, so the fear of her getting pissed off and shooting me, it's not impossible, but it's pretty low. Okay, and if she can show me that she can handle the firearm the safe way, the right way, and her shooting skills and her target group are all within decent, okay, it says a lot about her, and those are at least 3 tests that she can pass. Okay, if she fails one, we're not going on a second date. Okay, because if she can not only enjoy herself in something that I enjoy doing, she can shoot pretty well. That literally tells me that she can take, like, oh, who taught you to shoot? My dad, my brother, my grandpa. She can take instruction from a man, and she can apply that instruction to what she is doing. Okay? So this shows me that she will likely submit to my leadership. She will follow my leadership. She is interested in the things that I'm interested in, and if she can shoot and she enjoys shooting, her political viewpoints most likely, in most cases, will match my own. Okay, and then we have coffee afterwards. Okay, and coffee is less than 10-15 bucks. Okay, I can easily afford that. And the shooting range, I mean, you're talking about a date that costs less than 75 bucks, and it's an easy 2-hour date. All right, it's affordable. It can be fun. The check marks that I would be checking off, because I have my own list of what I look for in a spouse, like half of them are checked off. Alright? Just by this first date. Okay? And now, the second date, I can actually, okay. She's fun, fit, friendly, attractive. We share, same faith, same political views. Alright, I am more willing to invest in this relationship, or the possibility of a relationship, because not only did I survive the first date, but she's checked off all these basic tests. Right? And you go on from there. That this is the problem. I've been, let's just say I have been approached by more women than I have actually approached women. Alright? And the women that have approached me, okay, have all flirted and made it so obvious that they wanted me to ask them out. But I, as a guy, like, I don't read minds, but a few of them, okay, I was going to ask out, okay? But, so they inform me, and it's like, hey, they basically ask me out, whether it be just, hey, John, do you want to go out sometime? Or do you want to go to whatever? Or, John, we should go to this restaurant, or whatever. I do a little research, okay? Very basic, okay? Facebook, Instagram, talking to their friends, okay? Basic question, not even deep. One was married, and every single one of the other women had current boyfriends. Okay? So, my point of view is like, am I only good for the side guy? Sneaky link or whatever? No. So I am very, when a woman comes up to me and shows interest, I have to do a little research. So, like, is this legitimate? Now, every case is different. Every lady, I want to give them the benefit of the doubt, but with the history that I've actually seen, most ladies are cheaters. Sorry, but 5 women have approached me and asked me out. Every single one was cheating on their spouse or significant other, boyfriend, fiance. Right? That's pathetic. And it's like the few women that I've actually asked out, we had a decent date, but they didn't check all the boxes and it didn't work out. And those women are happily married now, and I wish them all the best. Okay. So that was a little bit about me, and we had a long talk. And Tommy, if you actually see this, okay, step back, okay, don't just respond in angry and on your trash, whatever. Step back, look at the big picture, okay? Perhaps look into more studies or do a study yourself. I challenge you to do a study, okay? And don't have a target audience. If you want it to, you said all men are trash, okay? I believe. Not even if you said the majority of men are trash, you're still wrong, okay? If I'm doing a study and it's regarding a certain subject, let's say the character of men or the character of women, I would not just go down to the red light district or the street corner where I know these 3 or 4s are hanging out and ask my questions and then come out with the results of the study that all women are 3 or 4s. Okay? And I did a study, and it was published by this respected, or it was done through this respected college or university or whatever. That means nothing. It used to mean something. It really did. But nowadays it doesn't, because the majority of these studies are they have their own political or point of view that they want to vomit on society, okay? And they do a study, okay? But the only people that study, they already know, live the life that the results are already known, pretty much. Okay? There are certain societies, there are certain areas, the type of guys that you would ask that look a certain way, act a certain way, and the life they live is usually how Tommy would identify as trash. If you only ask those guys the questions that ultimately get the answer that they already know, and then they publish the results, and it's like, hey, 53% of young men live with their mom and dad, or live in their mama's basements, and then you take that lie and you publicize it and you use that to prove your point of view. It's like, oh, 53% of young men live with their parents or live in their mom's basements. Okay, how useless are these young men? How terrible. What are these parents doing? It's like, come on, step up, guys. But then you do your own research, you do your own study, and then your own history, and then you take the facts of cost of living and all that. Yeah, it's do more research, Tommy, and ask more questions to be just a lot more men, okay? Real men, in reality, okay? Life is getting pathetic, and what used to be common sense isn't common anymore. And it's sad. And ultimately, that's why I'm here, talking to you as I'm working. And will it change? Will what I'm doing with this podcast have an effect on society? I doubt it, but that doesn't mean I'm not going to try. Alright? I'm going to keep writing songs, I'm going to keep writing books, making films on things that or at least on topics, that will hopefully help you. Okay? And hopefully I'll be successful, okay? Because there are movies that I want to make, that I need to make, that I can't make because I don't make enough money, okay? And I'm not willing to sell these scripts to Hollywood because they're just going to tear it up and make it their own, if they even buy it, okay? So I can do it, and I can't do it without your help, okay? So if you like this podcast, if you like this album, please buy the album. And if you're barely making it, I understand. Okay, I totally understand. Then please subscribe. Just by watching it, you're helping. I have I think I had over 1,700 songs on the music apps, okay? iTunes, Spotify, all the rest of those apps, before I was canceled by my distributor, okay? So if all you can do is listen to my music on your average music app or whatever, that would still be a great help. All of my music is on Bandcamp, okay? There's a subscription where for $3 a month you can have access to, so it's now 2,300 songs that I made, that I've written and produced. So all the songs that I completed after I was canceled are now on Bandcamp, and you can either listen to the max 3, listen to one song, each song 3 times, and that's it before it prompts you to buy it. Or you can just subscribe for $3 a month and get access to all of it, 2,000 plus. Okay? That would help me out. Okay? And the more and more of you that actually subscribe and can help me with that monthly income, I'd be able to $1, $1.50 on one song, yet that song touches your heart, encourages you, it's priceless. Okay? And I'm glad I can touch you in that way. So, let's end it there. I hope you have a good day, or good night, or good morning. Thank you very much for listening, and I will talk to you later. Alright, take care.